What's happening, YouTube? It's your homie S. Dot. Real quick, I know I just posted a purple deck profile. I know, but you guys got to check his out. If you guys been wanting to play Lilith Loop, if you guys been wanting to play Chaos Galamond and don't know and undecided, check this man's deck list out because it is actually a little bit all over the place. He's not playing 4 Jack Rays like the normal Lilith Loop deck. His explanations are actually insane. I'm so glad we added him to the team. Shout out to Lemon Break. And yeah, the homie Philip is very knowledgeable, so definitely listen to the man. And he talks way less than I do for my 30-minute deck profile. So check out this quick deck profile if you guys wanted another angle to check out the purple deck, and I'll catch you guys in my next video. Definitely subscribe to the channel because I got a lot more content coming up for you. I got some more Shoutmon games. I got a purple mirror match between him and, or excuse me, me and Phil, and of course I got the Lord Knight deck profile coming up. I got the Imperial deck list coming up very soon. So again, subscribe to the channel, like the videos if you enjoy. You guys have yourselves a great week in our first official week of the BT5 format, and I'll catch you guys later. Y'all know what it is. What's happening, YouTube? It's your homie S. Dot coming back to you with another video. And today's video is about this. Sorry, no, let me stop. My homie Phil Pena, man, newest member of Lemon Break. Shout out to the Digimon squad.
Shout out to the squad.
Absolutely, LB all day. What did you do today, man? You top 8'd through what?
I actually came first after Swiss at the CGU 10K tournament.
Okay, dope. Shout out to CGU for the venue. This place is really dope.
Yeah, big
and,
place.
What deck did you play today?
I played a purple deck. It's like pretty much Lilith Loop, but it integrates a lot of like the same theories from all the purple decks. So it's like purple good stuff.
The goo. The purple good stuff.
The purple stew.
All right.
So first off, we're gonna start with the babies. It's pretty much the same babies every time. You need to play Devimon. It's the best purple baby. It just lets you filter through your deck and set up a graveyard where your Lilith Loop matters.
Right.
And then one Devimon. Honestly, it could be anything. It's just having the 5th baby is cool. This is cool. It never ever came up where in testing even when you have the retaliation, but it is nice to fall back. Honestly, it could just be the mill one, but whatever. Next, I played 4 Galamons from the new set. It's probably the best rookie in the deck. It just allows you to functionally gain an extra memory, which is what this deck is all about. And it just facilitates all your combos so well. It does suck against yellow specifically because Starmon kills it and doesn't get its effect. But every other color has a hard time because if they kill the rookies, they get the effect. So in the mirror, like when they Tacmon or something, you can also charge them for, going plus. Then I played 3 Candlemon, just the 2 mana. It just slots in very well in a lot of your turns where you evolve into a champion for 2 or even 1 and try to pass the turn to memory choke. So that's the job there. Next I played 3 Goblemon. This again was to just facilitate the graveyard. It does unbrick your hands, which I feel like a lot of people's tournament story was, oh, I bricked, but this card lets you attack with a champion and just filter and cycle essentially with the Devimon. And if you have a champion, that's 5 cards to the graveyard, which is half of a Jack raid. All for just 1 card, which is really nice. Also, it's cool because when you get it back off of Chaos Galant, as you'll see later in the profile, you can set up plays where you're able to filter your hand to get the Zord or the Lilith combo. So, next, I played 2 Ghazi. This was dedication for the mirror and for yellow. However, yellow can deal with it pretty nicely with all their minus cards. The mirror really can't without overextending to Tacmon. And then turn it sideways, and that's when you can deal with megas. So it's just a flexible card. Honestly, could be any rookie, but
when you say real quick, you say Tacmon, you mean Tactimon.
Oh, Tactimon. Yeah, sorry. I always call him Tacmon.
You said the second time you said, I'm like, what in the hell?
No, I thought that was his name was
Tacmon.
I'm sorry. I got that grammar Nazi over here. But yeah, so this could be any rookie, but does well as that. Next, I played 2 Imperialdramon. Sometimes games are super simplified where you play like this Chaos Galamond control where instead of turning your Chaos Galamond sideways, because that's when people can interact with it, you'll just turn the rookie sideways to get value off of killing and bring it back. So I figured Imperialdramon would be the best rookie to do that because it has an on-deletion effect. So you'll always get to filter your deck and draw the cards you need. Also, shout out to Steph for telling me to put in the second one. I had 1, but I guess 14 rookies.
It's not so bad.
Yeah, exactly. It's not so bad. That's all the rookies is 14. Next we play Devimon. It's standard 1 mana blocker. It's really nice. Nothing much to talk about there. Next we play 3 Miramons. A lot of people might think it's weird that I play other choices over the 4th one, but the 1 mana evolve attack is really relevant, and I just needed to make concessions to fit on the other cards in the deck, so I had to cut 1 here before I cut a blocker so I don't lose. In purple, as you'll see, there's not a lot of security tricks, so having the blockers is more important than having the nons. Next I played 2 Devimon. This is just retaliation. A lot of yellow players like to turn their guys sideways, especially Lord Knight, and if they use their Lord Knight to chunk your board down and sort of erase it, it's easy to come up on a Devimon and attack and kill it. Same thing with Zort, which is almost impossible to kill in the mirror without your own. Same thing with Defeat. If you have no board because they cleared and have a Defeat, you're able to do the same thing and, you know, just remove heavy threats off the board. It sucks that it's 2 mana, but honestly, it's worth it to have the retaliation effect.
All right, Magic player. 2 costs.
Oh, yeah, sorry. It's 2 memory. 2 memory, see? Jesus, doesn't even know.
But now you said 2 costs. 2 costs to play.
Oh, true.
The Digimon.
Also, so I played 2 Vilemon.
Right.
This was just a concession that I do need a more amount of blockers for my Zort. It's probably the worst champion in the deck, to be honest, but there's so many times where, you know, you have a couple Devimons in your hand and you mill with Zort and you don't have a blocker when you need it, so we just played 2 extra Vilemons to facilitate the Zort game plan.
Of course, no Nidhogg. You gotta be careful of Nidhogg and Shout. You gotta respect.
Yeah, also the 6K matters because a lot of the 5Ks are easily dealt with, and yeah, so.
And against yellow, sometimes they might not be able to hit that threshold to get.
Yeah, because the -4 and the 1K is,
right.
Yeah,
Exactly.
that's perfect. Next is probably the best ultimate in my deck, Black War Galamond. This is from the new set. It does pretty much everything the deck wants to do. It puts 2 cards in the graveyard for your Lilith plays, and then it lets you attack with like Tactimon and make it the only Digimon, so you get all the effects and you get to do it twice. Let Zort do crazy combos, and Zort can bring it back to get the inheritable because the ESS is really, really strong. And then it also facilitates Chaos Galamond by bringing a rookie you want, namely Goblemon or any of the other ones, and set up control like that. Probably like one of the better cards in my deck, maybe like the top 1 card in my deck is honestly this card. And because this card is so good, I wanted to play like more copies, but obviously you can only play 4. So I played 1 Lady Devimon. Essentially, it's sort of the same thing where it has a really good usable ESS, because I do play a few options, and it does put 2 cards in the graveyard. Now, a lot of people might say, well, you draw cards, and that might be a way to filter your hand. But War Galamond is just a strictly better version, and if you're getting this far, honestly, you don't need to filter because the cards will just come to you from Digivolving. So I thought this card was fine at 1. Honestly, it could be cut from the deck, but this card is so good that you want something to mirror it. And then I also played 2 Skull Miramons. This is just the 2 cost to be cheaper. Sometimes you are memory choked, and you can still, in your raising, you can go 1 mana. Like if you have Matt, you can go 1 mana, evolve, and then 2 memory evolve, and then you can still play your Mega in the same turn. Especially when both players have Tamers, you're kind of being really efficient with this card. So. Also, if you break, it's also 5 mana to play, or memory. And then the last ultimate in the deck is Chimeramon. This is mainly just for Zort combos. It's just a utility card, and a lot of times, if you are stuck with rookies and miss your champion, you could sack one of your guys to interact with their board. And it also has a lot of utility with like Chaos Galamond and a lot of cards in the deck, so really, really strong. I had this at 2. I cut it down just because sometimes drawing it is too brick. And 1, I never felt like I didn't need it because Zort is so powerful by itself that having the extra,
Absolutely.
Next, we go on to the Megas. I played 2 Lilithmon. It is
an interesting part of the deck.
Yeah.
Sure.
So while it is a Lilithmon combo, oftentimes whenever I drew a second Lilithmon, I always discarded from any of the discard effects, because when you do the Zort, you can put the Lilithmon back into your hand, so you only ever need 1. And this is, out of all the Megas, this is the last Mega I want to summon. So I figured I'd cut it down. I never missed a 3rd one. I think going to 1 would be crazy, but I never missed it. So next, I played 2 Chaos Galamond. This card was also insane when you try to chunk your opponent's board down. In game states where they actually come out of the raising but don't get to a full Mega, he just dominates those game states. And then the long grind game and control game with the rookies is really his forte. But it is a 4 mana, a 4 memory evolve. So it's really hard to play. That's why this card's at 2, because sometimes it gets clunked in your hand because you can't play it, because if you don't have Matt, you get really memory choked. So that's. And then one of the better cards of the set is Tactimon. This card was phenomenal. Due to War Galamond being ESS being in effect, you can get all 3 of these even if you have 2 Digimon, and you can attack twice, which means you get all. It doesn't only activate once. So you get all the effects 2 times. So you'll gain 2 memories and kill 6 rookies, and it'll become 15k and clear anything. In the mirror, people try to annoy you with like Gazimon, and you're able to take it out so you can gain the memory. And same thing with Goblemon, you can trade with the memory so that you won't lose the turn when you attack. And against Rookie Rush, it deals with all the rookies. And in yellow, they have this go wide board where they leave Pulsemon, the Starmons up, and even Lucimons, and this deals with all of them. This card was like one of the MVPs of the deck, and honestly, I can see 3 of in the deck, to be honest. And I only play 6 megas, and that might be a low count, but when you filter so many cards in your deck that you're able to see at least one, and then Zort puts it back. So it's essentially like functionally you have a third copy of each one with Zort.
Right.
And then honestly, you know, the MVP of the deck, not even close, Zort, the big Papa Pump himself. I don't need to explain what he does, but he just facilitates a game plan where you can go wide and then you can reuse any of your megas. So if you Lilith Loop into him, you can play another Lilith. If you Chaosmon into him, you can play you can get the rookie back and then Chaosmon next to him again and kill more things on the board. And Tacmon just comes down and is a big threat again the next turn. Also, a lot of people I felt like were swinging with their Zords. Sometimes it's right to just sit on it and hard play it as opposed to use the flute. That's just an interesting tidbit. But yeah, this card is insane. I can see it at 4. I wouldn't play less than 3. Now for the options, that's all the Mons in deck. I played 3 Jack Raids. A lot of people play 4, especially in a Little Loop deck. But honestly, all you need is 1. When they put you at 2, you need to make sure you have 10 cards in the graveyard. If you see your opponents put you at 1, you can either have 2 or you need to go to 20 cards in the graveyard, which is really easy, and then you have the full combo. So you don't need more than 1. But it is nice to have something in the security that does something, and it is nice to have multiples when you're in the late game grinding. And there's 2 points in time where, because I only play 1 mat, where I do get memory choked, and the extra Jack Raids are nice to just put them in the graveyard to use them to make my turn more efficient, and later down the line, Lilith Loop 2 of them back. So I never missed the 4th one. I could actually honestly 100% see going down to 2. Next I played 2 Flute of Summoning Dragon or Mega Digimon Fusion. This card was cool. It was really good. I wouldn't play 1 because if you mill it with your hard play Zort, you'll be very upset. So I think 2 is the mandatory number. I wouldn't play 3 because I think a hard play Zort is so good that a lot of times like I would play 1 and I would draw the other and I would never use it, even though I'd have access to multiple Zorts. So 2 is the perfect number. And then last I played Tamers. I played an interesting suite. I played 1 Mat, 1 Takumi Aiba, and 1 Tai. Mat was a memory tamer and also lets you get back the pieces you're missing. Like if you only have 1 champion and you filter it away with an attack or something, you can get it back. Same thing with Ultimates and Megas to set up nice plays. Takumi Aiba. So I was torn on how many and what white tamers I should play, but I felt like 2 was the perfect number because, like I said, I am very often hard casting this for the full 6 as opposed to just playing it with the flute. So I went down to 2, and then I was torn on which one to play. In testing, Matt and Tai was very good, but often past your turn the turn you played it. So your early game was a little rocky, but throughout the later stages of the game, it warded off people's playing level 6s and provided a lot of utility for your Zort to do a lot of damage, especially with Black War Growl. And Takumi Aiba, it is a combo deck, and Takumi Aiba lets you get through the combo deck, but sometimes it halts your rookie rush strategy where you go wide with rookies and can't attack. Right. But because of Jack Raid and Lilithmon combos with Zort, you're able to get the memory back. So I figured I'd try a 1-1 split, and they both were fine. I don't have a preference to which one I like better, but I think 2 is a fine number. I could see 3. And that's the whole deck.
Oh, man. Well, I appreciate you with the deck profile. Congrats.
Shout outs. I got a few shout outs. Shout out Limit Break. Just joined the squad. Hopefully I did you guys right. Shout out Steph and his channel. Thanks for all he's doing.
You already know.
And shout out Phil for Limit Break. I was inspired by his deck list and the ass whooping he gave me one night. So I decided to just make it my own thing. But shout out to him too. So.
Right. Dope. Cool, man. Hey, well, thanks again, man. I appreciate the deck profile. And I'm sure we'll be catching you at future events and keep doing your thing, man.
Of course. Thank you.
All right, guys. Y'all know what it is. Y'all have a great day and or night whenever you're catching this video. Heading out. Peace.